In this lesson, I will show you how the if function works. If you think that the if function is a difficult one, don't worry, I have good news for you. Things are not as bad as you might think. The if function is a logical function that allows you to choose what the result will be based on a condition. You set a condition, and if the condition is true, one content is stored in the cell. If not, another content is stored. Let's see this in action. I want the word promoted to appear in cell C2 if the value in B2 is greater than or equal to 10. If the value in B2 is less than 10, then I want the word rejected to appear. One could say that I could do this manually just by looking at the value in B2 and writing the value I want in C2. You will see soon that the if function is a better choice. So I will start the if function, and instead of searching for it among other functions, the easiest way to type it is to just type the equal sign, then type if and the left parenthesis. Now I will go to the formula bar and click the FX tool. Generally, if you know the name of the function you want, the easiest way to use it is to type it, put a left parenthesis, and then press the FX tool, and the window of the function's arguments will appear. Now, the if function takes three parameters. The first is the logical test, the condition I mentioned earlier. The second is the content that will be stored in the cell if the condition is true. And the third is the content that will be stored if the condition is false. In this example, I said that I want the word promoted if the value of cell B2 is greater than or equal to 10. So I will set the condition, the logical test, as B2 greater than or equal. That's the way I'm writing greater than or equal. I'm writing these two symbols one beside the other. And 10, the number that I want. Now I will go to the second parameter and type promoted, because this is what I want to appear if the condition is true. I will click on the third parameter and notice that Excel automatically put double quotation marks around the text for the second parameter. Generally, I should put text in double quotes, but if I forget to do so, Excel does the job for me. For the third parameter, I will type rejected, and I will click OK here. Notice in the formula bar that the word rejected also got double quotes automatically. Double quotes distinguish that what I have written is plain text and not some function or calculation. Keep this in mind, you will see you will need it in a while. Now in cell C2, the word promoted appeared because the value in cell B2 is greater than or equal to 10. I will go to cell B2, change the value to 9, and press enter here. The value in cell C2 automatically changed to rejected. I will change the value of cell B2 again to 10 and press enter again. Now it's promoted again because the condition I set is if cell B2 is greater than or equal to 10. So since it's equal to 10, the condition is true, and because the condition is true, the word promoted appears. I think it's now clear that the use of the if function offers many more advantages than simply typing the status rejected or promoted by hand. Those who proceed with to the advanced level of Excel will see that I can have multiple ifs within an if to distinguish more cases. For example, let's say that valid marks are only from 0 to 20. I will type the value 23 in cell B2 and press enter. Here I would like another value to appear, for example, invalid and not promoted, because 23 is out of the 0 to 20 scale. I will not go any further because these are advanced level issues. I will change the value in cell B2 to something valid. Let's say I will put it back to 13 as it was initially. Now we will use the fill handle as I do with all functions or formulas. I will select cell C2 and I will click on the fill handle and drag to cell C5. I think it's even clearer why simply entering the text promoted or rejected by hand is not the right choice. For example, if I had 100 values here, the status would automatically come out just as easily with the use of the fill handle. Now let's look at another example for which I will move to the bonus worksheet. Here in cell B2, I want to calculate the bonus for the sales recorded in cell A2. The bonus is determined according to what is written here on the right, that is, to motivate the salesperson. I'll tell them that if they achieve sales above 100,000 euros, then the bonus they will receive is 10% of the sales they have achieved. If they achieve 100,000 or less, then the bonus they will receive is 5% of the sales. So I want to calculate the product of cell A2 by either 5% or 10%, depending on whether cell A2 is greater than 100,000 or not. Okay, I will use the if function for this job, so equal sign, if left parenthesis, and the fx button from the formula bar. The logical test in this case is if cell A2 is greater than 100,000, so I will write A2 greater than 100,000. Notice that I didn't include the equal sign. That means that with sales exactly at 100,000, the smaller bonus will be given. If it turns out that this goal has been achieved, meaning it's above 100,000, then as the second parameter here, I want to put a calculation formula. Although I'm putting a formula because this formula is a parameter of a function, I will not start with an equal sign as I would if I were putting it directly into a cell. So I will write A2 multiplied by 10%. I will say it again. When I type a formula as a parameter of a function, I don't use the equal sign at the beginning because it is a parameter. If I wanted to use the formula in a cell, then I would need to start with the equal sign. Also notice that I didn't use double quotes, and they will not be entered automatically. I will click on the third parameter and see that the formula in the second parameter does not have double quotes. So if the value of the parameter is a formula, then I don't use double quotes. I only use them when I have text, simple plain text. Now in the third parameter, I will type what will happen if the goal hasn't been met, meaning the sales are not more than 100,000. I will put here the formula A2 multiplied by 5%. Notice the different values calculated depending on whether the case is true or false. I will click OK, and it calculated 10% because the sales in A2 are greater than 100,000. So they will receive 10% of a 10% bonus. I will click on the fill handle and fill down to cell B6. So you see the corresponding amounts depending on whether the sales are above or below 100,000 euros. I will select cell A6 and type exactly 100,000 and press enter here. The bonus is 5,000 because the multiplication was done by 5% since the amount is not greater than 100,000. Now we'll go to cell A5 and put the value 100,001 and I will press enter here. You see that the bonus went to 10,000 because now the sales are above 100,000. If you are thinking that the result should be slightly different because 10% of 100,001 is 10,000.1, well, consider that the rounding formatting is applied to avoid decimal digits. So 10,000 appears as the rounded result, but the actual value of the cell is 10,000.1. I will select cell B5 and increase the decimal digits so that you can see that the actual value is the one I said before, the correct one. So what does the if function do? It accepts three parameters. The first is the logical condition that can either be true or false. As the second parameter, I put what I want to be stored or calculated inside the cell if the condition is true. As the third parameter, I put what I want to be stored or calculated inside the cell if the condition is false. It might sound complicated if you have never used it before, but I promise you it is not. The more you practice it, the more comfortable you will get with it. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.